Hey everyone, welcome to Mountain Dog Companion. Today we're going to be talking about what is a boutique Bernedoodle. Okay guys, hanging out with Angie here. Today she's going to go through the process from day 1 to week 8, basically going through what these puppies will go through, what they'll experience, and why they experience it.
So we start with birth. Everything begins at the beginning.
Yep.
And so at that day, that's day 1 for us. Our program really begins at day 3. So day 3 of life, all eyes are closed, ears are closed at that point. We have access to the neurological system and the scent. And so those two sensory items are the ones that we work with beginning. So as far as our ENS, we start, this one is a large one. Let me find a smaller one that I can handle. Here we go, we'll use this one. We start with our ENS, which we handle them for a maximum of 30 seconds. So they're upright for 5 seconds, and then they're downright for 5 seconds. On their back for 5. All of this is just changing the blood flow. You're okay. Everything's okay. Slightly stressing them, so this is okay to see this stress. Then they go onto a cold rag for 5 seconds, or an ice pack, and then paws are stimulated. And that's a maximum of 30 seconds. So from day 3 to day 16, we handle them 30 seconds to a minute. We check them a couple times a day, make sure their little back ends are clean. And then before we return them to their nest, they go back up to the heart just to reset themselves. And then they go back with their litter mates.
Yep.
That's the handling portion. But actually, I should have integrated here. We do the scent. So we do day 3 through 16. They're all different scents. We have leather, we have alpaca, we have bunny, we have tennis ball, we have black tea, we have cinnamon. Today is chamomile. And this again is for 5 seconds to the tin. Look at that, the head drops. Whoop. And when they're finished, they're done. So max of 30 seconds. So each puppy goes through a scent every day through that 3 to 16 day window. We also will weigh them. So I said we held them for about a minute. Usually it's probably closer to 2 till we get everything done and recorded. But we track their weights from day 3 to day 16, 2 pounds. This little one has her eyes open. It's a female, yeah. Yeah, look at the eyes are open.
Oh, yeah.
Or one side is open, this one, yeah, they're both open.
Yep.
So at that point, takes us to about 2.5 weeks, 2.5 weeks. From 2.5 to 3 weeks, they go back. It's really just checking them, making sure that nothing is impacted at all, keeping the export areas open. An interesting fact for some people, they don't realize that puppies will not eliminate on their own. So they only eliminate by stimulation from mom, and so that means that she licks for the urine and also for the feces. And if she does not lick them, then we need to stimulate with paper towels to keep that flowing. So about 2.5 weeks, usually once the eyes open and the leg strength comes, because as puppies, when they're born, the legs actually kind of flop behind like little seals. They just use their front paws to pull them. The leg strength actually starts to come between 2 and 3 weeks. Once they can support themselves, that's when they can start to eliminate on their own. Mom will still eat it. She keeps a very clean nest, and so she'll eat it usually up to about 6 weeks till they're on soft foods. So that's the interesting part. The other part too I should mention is that I might have mentioned that their eyes and ears are closed when they're born. The ears begin to open right around 2.5 to 3 weeks. And so here we can start to see inside the ears. Their little ears are starting to open up. So from 2 to 3, we need those ears to be fully awake. And then we start our habitation sounds. So week 3 to week 4 is all about sounds. Fireworks, sweepers, pots and pans, doors slamming, just everything that we could introduce them to. Fire trucks, because some people live in the cities. And what that does is everything that we do with them in our training program here to make these a boutique puppy is really to set foundations and introductions. So nothing is 100%, but when you start a puppy, out and you imprint them this way, it follows them through life.
sure.
And training is easier. They're set up for therapy work. It's pretty impressive that we do all this work. It's a service dog program that we do all this handling and touching and introductions for pet families. So we just have some really great results from it.
Absolutely.
So after that, after week 3, when they get their sounds done from week 3 to week 4, that's when they start getting introduced to toys.
Yep.
And age appropriate. So if you see here, we have the progression. I don't know if we have it quite in order, but the very first thing they're introduced to is soft toys.
Yep.
So they will get introduced to them. They'll start to carry them around, and then we'll begin to add the noise feature to it so that they're used to sound. So week 4 is really about soft textures. Week 5 is when we start to bring them into our play zone, where we have some elevations, we have pee pad holders, we have swings, we have slides. They won't use those at this point, but they'll be introduced to things that move. So we'll do a little bit more movement, and like this is a texture, and also works on building strength. So we're working on the mobility, balance, because they also don't have balance when they start. They look like little drunken sailors when they start to walk at 2.5 to 3 weeks. So working on that leg strength, and then texture, so that paws hit different textures.
And this guy's got
That's
that
another
too.
one. Yeah, so that does all, that activates all. It's got sound, texture, and soft and squeak. Yeah,
Yep.
so we use that between 4 and 5 weeks. Between 5 and 6, then we move to activated toys. Like they will actually start activating this between 6-7 weeks, make sound, so that they're used to sound noises is no reason to be fearful. And our little Krabby that runs all over the floor that they don't love in the beginning, but learn to love by 7-8 weeks old. So then 7 to 8 weeks, we start working with, again, the pee pad is always in place. So that's beginning of introductions to potty training. It's definitely not housebreaking, because that's a whole nother training tool. But they will, again, just by 7 to 8 weeks, they're on slides, they're playing on the little swings, they're doing all of that. And at week 3, which is very important, I should have mentioned this, at week 3, when we start their sound habitation, is when we also start their puppy massages. So we do a puppy massage handling, and we do that all the way through 8 weeks. And it starts out very gentle. It's a 10-step program. It was developed by Jeanette at 4E Kennels. It's called part of the Badass Breeders program. We roll the tail, tug on the tail, touch their ears. So obviously it's a 13-week-old puppy, so she's not used to this handling yet. Tap their toes. This would start at 3 weeks. And then by the time they hit 8 or 9 weeks, we are really petting. We're reverse petting. We're actually patting. All of those things are just to imprint that puppy for as many things as they can encounter in life as possible. We can't cover them all, but we can sure cover a lot. And exposure is everything. And we have the first 8 weeks of your puppy's life, and we don't take it lightly. And we try to do the best we can.
Absolutely.
Did I miss anything? Did I cover it all?
I don't think so. I think you got everything. What's the biggest benefit of going through the program?
The biggest benefit, for me or for the puppy?
It's
It's healing for me every day. But
for the puppy and the family.
Absolutely. Yeah, I might have mentioned it earlier, but the biggest part for me is that this is a service dog program. Service dogs are raised with this program, and we use this program for pet families, which is wonderful. And if you take a puppy that has been conditioned like this and raised in this environment, it sets them up for success. So training tends to go much quicker. House training tends to go lightning fast. You know, like a lot of that is environment related, so I can state those, but it's all based on the families. Introductions, fireworks, when you have those events happening, like most of the puppies a lot of people have had puppies or dogs that have responded to that negatively, and the fear is not there on many of them.
It's just a normal day.
It's just a normal day, and so like they're very calm. It's proven to have lower heartbeats. There's just so many health benefits to the puppy as well, and it's just an 8-week window.
Yeah.
And if you see it's not really that hard.
Exactly.
It just takes a little extra work and a little extra effort, and also knowing what's age appropriate. So the biggest part of the program is that we know by their development, obviously when eyes are closed, ears are closed, there's certain things that we can't do with them. Yep. And we don't want to overhandle them either. And so just making sure that we do introductions at the age appropriate stage is what we do.
Absolutely. Well, that'll wrap it up here. Now you know what a boutique Bernedoodle is and kind of what the program looks like. So thanks, Angie, for going over it, and thanks guys for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope this helped you guys out. Looking forward to hearing from each and every one of you that's looking to get more information on the process and potentially bringing one of these puppies home. So thanks for tuning in today, guys, and we'll see you next time.